Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Nobody Wants to Die. I'm a little further back than where we left off. We are sitting here at the choice with Sarah, and basically, I'm going to explain why we're back here. And I'm also going to preface by saying that this is not the same playthrough as the one that you watched in part 3. I started a brand new playthrough and I got all the way back up to here. And there is a reason that we're going to be here, and it's because this game is a rug pull, a serious rug pull. And I want to warn people that this game is tricking you, and I'm not going to explain currently, but we're just going to go ahead and pick that Green was behind it all instead of the murder is behind it all. And I'll explain this. I will explain this once we get to the end of the game.
I'll admit our alleged killer knows a lot, but we don't have enough evidence that taking control of bodies is even possible. Green wouldn't be so easy to manipulate. He held this city by the balls for hundreds of years. Seems he decided to go out in a blaze of glory and burn it all down.
If Green planned it all, then what role did the killer play in everything? So, what's his next step?
The motherfucker leaves no trace. The trail's cold.
Why haven't we heard of him before? He's a pro, after all.
Criminals are still in their learning curve when they do their first
We're gonna-
crimes. They leave no traces behind.
I'll check similar poisoning cases in recent years.
We're going to
Poison may have been removed from reports.
be discussing this a little bit once we get to the end.
Oh, I think I have something. 2 weeks. No. Shit. I was wrong.
I know we are back a little bit
Sarah?
of the ways.
Rewind.
We're gonna be headed to the train accident.
No, you can't touch your own case, or reconstruct it, or explain it. You can't defend yourself.
I'm the only one who can.
Oh, the fucking savior of the world. Can't you let go just this once?
You know the answer.
Damn you. Hang on.
I have to... What's this?
A new earpiece. This one shouldn't be so easy to spot.
Ah, thanks.
All right, so now we should be back to where we were. Oh yeah, that's right. We have to walk through the water. Now I actually I went through when I went through this playthrough again. I went through and I actually did all the achievements that I did not do the first time around. So I actually get the platinum trophy at the end.
Rachel.
Now I did actually record this part already in terms of completing this game, but as I said, we will discuss this at the end.
Looking in the mirror at yourself, sometimes the scariest thing imaginable. But it was time to face myself on my own, without dragging anyone else down.
Dude, are you there? Hello? This guy looks shady. He's connected. Oh, this guy's some hole. Wait for me. We'll get it sorted together.
Seth?
Who else, genius? The voice of your conscience?
You're not really here. You're just a cocktail of desynchro and memories with a garnish of trauma.
Dude, you really don't get it. Don't do anything or you'll do something stupid. I just entered the initials and Hestia asked, am I satisfied with my work? They're calling from the top about it. This will end worse than usual.
I'll lean on him and get something. I'll find out what happened.
Fine. But what if you don't?
I will. Whatever it takes.
I can't cover your ass if you do this. Jay!
We just received word of gunshots in Central Park. The crowd is panicking.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and get out. We are at the
problem with this statement
train
is that
crash.
there are only two kinds of medicine that work. Those with an awful taste and narcotics.
Ambrosia. Take Ambrosia responsibly. Synchronization depends on this. Read the leaflet carefully before use, as it contains important information. So, this was the train crash that, of course, derailed, shall I say, haha, the career for James.
James, are you there?
Good to hear you.
I'll be on the line, but remember, in this place, desynchro can be deadly. Got any symptoms yet?
Thanks. Never felt better.
Now remember, this is the incident that when we were in the Hestia earlier, his partner Seth died, and a lot of people got killed. We don't really know the details surrounding it because James doesn't really remember too much.
Damn it.
I can't see anything. Do you think there are any traces left after all this time?
I was here. How am I not one big lead?
Alright, are there any traces left?
It was almost midnight and there were still some children on the train? Maybe some parent forgot a birthday and rushed to the store. I hope.
So we have some of these, like, memories, or whatever you want to call them, like,
Most
traces
blood
of the dead.
evaporated in the fire. Maybe the UV will detect something.
Alright. Now, I also forgot to mention that if you notice, Sarah was not wearing a bandage. It's because when I played through this again, I did not shoot Sarah.
Different people. Shoe print.
Is it
I was ankle deep in blood. This is my...
James?
I don't have enough information to reconstruct.
And again, I'll explain why.
Run or hide. Some bodies were permanently damaged. The frame looks shot through. I'll check it. There's something here. I have to check it out. Refusal of body credit. This guy just hit the memory bank from here.
Probably like most of the victims.
Looks familiar. It fits my gun. Did I?
That's for my gun.
No. I need to look for more evidence. There was a major firefight here before the derailment. I'll check where the shooter was.
ticket jokes, conductor? Anything?
That motherfucker had to shoot everyone. So many bodies lost.
What?
Why can't I remember anything?
Okay. That's right. See the trajectory of the bullets.
Looks like he was standing around here somewhere. I already have a lot of data. I'm going to reconstruct.
James, think again. The reconstructor will try to use your memories because you were there.
It'll be fine, Sarah.
No, you won't. Wait. James, wait for me. I'll be back in a moment. I have something. I'll explain later.
Alright, well, he's gonna do it anyway. As you can see, the shooter is me.
The hell? What's going on?
We'll get through this difficult moment together. Can't remember? I'll tell you what happened.
I was chasing a dealer who was running away in the crowd.
You shot up those people.
No!
Look, the real you.
I can't believe this crap. You're manipulating me.
Pathetic.
I couldn't kill those passengers. It wasn't me.
But it was me.
He overwrites my memories. What does he know about the train? From a synchro test? Is this how he brings out memories? Get out of my head!
Are you alive?
Well, that's not good. That's not good.
Killer uses your memories against you. Like a parasite. Squeezes into gaps left by the D-Syncs and modifies them. I don't know. He hacked synchro tests and finds out everything? He does it somehow.
Run away from there. Come home and we'll talk about it. Don't reconstruct any further, understand? I can't be with you now.
What?
I'll explain later. My body is in trouble. Okay? Over and out.
Why do people keep leaving you?
I need to get to the next car.
Okay, well, we've seen that we shot those people chasing this guy down.
As long as you don't get consumed by frustration.
Already learned it once. This time it will be faster. Some shotgun shells here. These people obviously died due to the train crashing into the building.
What's going on?
Well, the reconstruction program wasn't meant for this.
Talked about us. I understood that you would never accept my decisions. Life ends. Even memories fade away. Nothing else will happen. We tried. I know. We were stupid.
Never. It's my own fears, feeding on her death.
So what happened
Constructing
here?
this is gonna be Sisyphus' work. The difference is Sisyphus tried to cheat death, not to immerse himself in it.
River Drew Adam. Get this guy here.
Rachel had one. She wore it to games until it broke into pieces.
Shopping list. Amir tubes 14, premium tubes for guests 8. Prepare something so it won't get boring. Get laxatives after premium tubes.
There's a chance he shot me then. Maybe he stabbed or slashed. What happened here? Didn't even have time to yell. A mortal wound. Why can't I remember anything? It's starting to look like a graveyard on wheels. I'm moving to reconstruction. Shot.
You didn't fucking care at all.
It's a joke. I will not kill. I didn't kill anyone. I remember it.
You do remember.
Okay. Let's assume that's true. I shot everyone like a madman. What's next?
Have a look.
The same people from the party, from the cult party. I guess it's making it look that way. The memories are blending together.
I know you want to leave them there. Let the world forget about them, just like it forgot about you.
You think you know me? Here's where you're wrong. You can do it. You know what's real.
Interesting.
There's a reason why I shot everybody on this train.
He couldn't get far. They lead to the third car.
Prosperous citizen, prosperous society.
Are you ready?
Why do you have to be so annoying? He got hit hard. Why didn't he give up?
Seth Hills, my partner.
I recognize that car anywhere. Seth had a distinct style.
And this is Seth's car. And if you remember, Seth died in this incident.
The dealer was standing here somewhere. Bleeding. We'll try to reconstruct.
Why did you take her from me? I don't know what's going on. Do you know who I work for? Names! Now! Lunatic!
We'll work this out with the boss.
I'll sit down this car and we'll all die.
Go ahead. But you're telling me one way or another. Who told you to sell Rachel the poison?
What? Who?
Who is he?
So, this is why James shot up the train. He believed that this dealer sold his wife the same poison that Green took as well. That's in that bottle.
Don't do anything. A counter-terrorist team's on the way.
He's aiming at the car! Get the fuck out of here!
Are you crazy?
And Seth is trying to talk me down.
I'll shoot him down.
Why did you do that to Rachel?
Go!
I want names!
This was the last good day of your life.
He shot Seth's car,
Losing control.
and it crashed into the train, causing it to derail, killing Seth and causing me to lose my memory of the event.
No. No!
I'm not going in there with you. Our luck's run out.
No. I don't want to go in there!
Why not?
Why are you doing this?
You're dragging yourself to the grave.
What the fuck?
You don't understand. All of this has power over you. Relax and accept the truth.
I'm tired of you being sorry. The world is tired to see you too.
Why do you cling so hard to this pathetic life? It makes no sense. Give it up. I want to help you. Stop! Are you fucking crazy? Want to play with a knife? Do you?
We are cruel. And you're a sadist when you look at me like I can take away your pain.
Do you always have to make it difficult?
do this to her? Why did you turn her against me?
Is that what you want to hear? My confession?
You motherfucker!
It's the only escape from the nightmare you're stuck
Shit.
I can feel your mind getting weaker by the minute.
Dear Ouroboros.
Motherfucker. You gave up a long, long time ago when you had everything. It wasn't part of life to destroy you. Stop it.
James! James! I've been talking to you for 10 minutes! Give me a sign of life. Get in touch immediately. James! Hello? James, I need your help. Salma is, my body's in the middle of a riot and it's in danger. James, are you okay?
Yeah,
Barely.
but I'll regret this in the morning. I had a bad feeling about all this. A revolution is like an amputation. When it comes too late, it's sure to bring blood and pain, and as likely as not, little else.
Okay, well.
James, where are you going?
Don't worry, I'm just below the park. I want to run into our friends in the loop. I'm already flying over.
Close all airspace. I repeat, close the airspace over the park. Regroup on 57 and stop them from getting south. I will be there soon.
That's not an easy day
So-
to be a police chief.
Let me just pause this real quick to explain a little bit. So, the thing about the train situation and what you're hearing with the stranger, I'm going to explain this, all of this, when we get to the ending, because I pretty much spent the better half of the afternoon kind of going back over this game, and because I originally recorded the last part of this, and I absolutely lost my shit doing it. And so I'm going to explain this a little bit better when we get to it, and kind of give you the explanation of why I've made the choices that I've made. But just kind of take into note everything that you've seen in this playthrough thus far. And we're going to continue going forward.
It's not easy for anyone.
Welcome to Central Park.
Not have picked a better epitaph for himself if he tried. A forest of fake trees that last forever without actually being alive. What exactly happened?
All I know is the mob ripped through the police cordon and attacked the rich folks at Green Celebration.
Where's Selma now?
Oh shit! Well, our car is definitely fucked now. Oof.
James? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm barely here.
I've lost my vision. Talk to me.
My car is definitely fucked.
Copy.
James! Oh, you're alive. You okay? Did you get hit hard? James, are you okay?
I think so. I had a hard landing. Report a police car crashed near me.
Did you literally run into one of our friends in blue?
Well, they ran into me.
There he is! Wait! Report it. He's still breathing! The fucker's hiding!
Back up.
Get him!
1 sec.
This guy doesn't have much time.
Don't do anything. I can't risk it right now.
And rip out his Nicorite! Leave me alone! Fuck! Another cop? I'll finish him off so he doesn't get away! No! Wait! Let's get second. Up above! Look out! Police!
Comes back up.
They make it in time?
More or less. At least they didn't rip his Icarite open. What about Salma?
She got to the center of the riot. Now she's heading back. Head south and you'll run into her.
How fast is she moving?
Pretty fast and steady. I don't think she's hurt. We don't know if someone's after her.
Alright, well, we'll get moving.
Shit.
Justice to the rich.
An APB for a police car was sent out automatically.
Great. Great day for scrap dealers. Not for anyone else. The road's closed. Gotta go around it. I see some kind of statue.
How big?
Pretty fucking big.
Great. Probably the Morai statue from Green's exhibit, where his farewell happened. Head towards it.
I'm trying.
Up and over. Alright, check out this.
Go through the park.
These fire engines, by the way, are so cool looking.
Something keeps bugging me. Whose idea was it to say goodbye to Green here?
I don't know. Probably the city. It was the last exhibition he sponsored. Why does it matter?
I'm wondering if this could have been planned.
You think everything that's happened here was also part of Kovalev and Green's plan?
Look, everything happens on the day of Green's funeral. And it all started with him.
As far as paralyzing the city and causing chaos, well, it works.
But what was the goal? Or a step toward the goal?
I don't know, honestly.
All these trees are digitized.
I can see the place where the ceremony was.
Great. Head over there.
Water
What did you say the
concentrating
statue
on
was
that.
of?
Morai.
That explains a lot.
Such
Morai
a
were the
crazy
gods.
scene.
All I know is that they watched over the life thread of mortals and gods.
How nice. I have to take a roundabout route to them. How's Salma?
Slowing down. She seems to be running out of strength. Salma just sped up. I think she's running away. She's almost at the statue. Help her!
Oh boy.
Era? I couldn't believe when the system spat out your name. And you just happened to be in the middle of this shitstorm.
Boss, I covered for you. Burn the papers.
I burned the papers in
You
this.
didn't see me, okay? I gotta save someone.
You moonlighting as private muscle or something?
Or something.
You really piss me off. Get in the fucking car. Before it's too late.
James, please. Selma.
I can!
This is your last chance. I'm trying to help you, you idiot. Damn you, Kara. Be back for your Rick right then. Sorry, pal.
God damn it. It doesn't matter. Even if we didn't if we didn't burn the papers like we did, it doesn't really matter because we get shot anyway. I'm going to explain that a little bit too.
Say something! Stop! This better just be a bad connection. We need your help.
Well, we're dying.
Can you hear me? Head to the statue. Save her, please. It's really close now. Someone's slowing down. She must be getting tired. She's walking around the statue. James, stop moving.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Do you see her? She should be out there somewhere. If they got her, please tell me. Find her. She must be somewhere straight ahead. Can you see her? Is she okay?
I don't know yet, but I'll find her. There she is.
Don't shoot! I was sent by... Good morning, sunshine! You're too late! She belongs to me! Selma's innocent! Let her go, you freak! Selma knew the darkest secrets. And she didn't raise a finger! She did nothing about it! Nothing! You deserve each other! And you're better, huh? One righteous citizen in a dirty city! You fucking bet! How long have you been controlling Selma? Is she the reason you learned so much about the crimes? Learn? It's all because of me! Get it? Sure! I just need to dish out justice one more time! I got bad news! Justice is my thing, motherfucker! Well, show me what you're made of, then. Come out! How long have you been watching me? Who are you? Really? For a long time. I felt your anger, your frustration. It's coursing through your veins.
The fuck is going on?
How the hell should I know? I'm trying to figure this all out. But I need you to help me, okay?
You just have to trust me. I'm doing everything to help you. You're not fighting him. You... with him? Are you helping him?
No. What? I'm a psychologist. I'm sure you know that. You can trust me.
It's desynchropsychotic disorder. Green struggled with it too.
Desynchro? What?
Probably our Icarite. Our mind has a limit.
It can only handle a certain number of traumas and reincarnations. Until it gives out.
I don't know if I can help you, to be honest, but I'll try. You just have to let me go, okay?
What did Green say about Ouroboros?
About what?
About the snake and the date carved on the tree.
He was working on something he wanted to finish by then. He knew his mind was going. I didn't think that date was when he planned to kill himself. Oh, I should have known he'd try to drag us with him. Bastard. Please, put the gun down.
You can trust me. Drop it.
Please.
Try the path behind me. You have a chance to get through. Take this. Sarah will guide you. You'll just have to calm her down first.
Thank you.
I could feel his breath on my neck. I should have felt fear or anger, but I just felt serene. Maybe because I was so fucking tired. First life, we really made it. The second was good too. The third never came. Still, we were lucky. Really lucky. I've been living a stolen, anguished life for a long time. And he was born from that pain.
Everything's all right.
Your time is long over.
Run!
I'll get her anyway. I'll drag her to the abyss with you as the tool.
Want a bet?
Gotta drink the poison. Now remember, this poison destroys your Icarite. It makes it so you can't come back. go. Into the abyss. You see my wrists where the Icarite was bound to me. It's gone. And that's the reason why the Icarite would pull me back, because you never were really dead. You were pulled. The scene out at the beach in the darkness is you being basically pulled out from death back into another body. It's like the idea. And that dream that he has is a memory of him being pulled back into another body.
Hi, James. I know you won't pick up, but my psychologist says I need closure. She's pretty famous. She's alive thanks to you. And thanks to me, she hid here in the slums in the first days of the riots. Believe it or not, it was the safest here. It's pretty strange to look at myself, pregnant and shocked by the poverty I'd spent my whole life in. I had a few desynchro attacks because of it, but I recovered. Fully recovered. I finally got my body back, and I finally have enough money to get Taylor out. I was worried if Taylor would still be herself after she was thawed out, but Salma's pretty sure that there's no symptoms until the first 100 years. Symptoms like what you've been struggling with. She tried to explain it to me, and I'm so sorry. For the record, you were the most difficult partner I've ever worked with, and no one else will ever come close. But thank you. You deserve peace. I really hope you found it.
So I obviously had the music off for this last part. One of the things is that the music in this at the end of the game was pretty like overly loud, and it was kind of like distracting. So let me explain a few things. One, the way that the story basically is, from my understanding, is that Green, he did in fact kill himself. What we witnessed happen down in the chamber was essentially something that had been building up for Green for a long time. The Ouroboros is basically a sign of the desynchro sickness. It is a symbol of this sickness, and it is what I don't know. It's never explained, obviously, and we don't know really how. But you essentially know your death date, your real death date. And when you have this desynchro sickness, you write this death date down. And we know that we've seen a couple of these death dates written down by multiple people who have the desynchro sickness. Green was one of those people. His desynchro sickness is from him rezzing all these years because of all of the corruption. And that's kind of like the main bulk of it, is that him and all of these people that were involved, these big city rich people, all of them involved in this huge cult to get new bodies, did not realize or know that this desynchro sickness existed. that the idea of going from body to body to body eventually breaks your mind so much that you just cannot come back without all these problems. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened with James as well. And so the idea with Green is that he basically he was so far in the sickness that the stranger took over his body, the stranger being a psychotic version of himself, took over his body. It went down into where the cult was, and it shot everybody up. It killed everyone. And then it came, he came back up, wrote a letter to Kovalev telling him to finish it, and essentially killed himself. In reality, he didn't kill himself in the way that you normally would. As we know, we saw what looked like an attack. He killed himself in the sense that he did exactly what you saw James doing, which is he attacked himself. And then he had set up the tree to catch on fire and explode and all that and hung himself. The same thing happened with Kovalev. Kovalev also was carrying out these orders, and he also more than likely had a desynchro sickness. We don't necessarily know that from going into the Icarus, but he carried out these orders to kill all of these city bigwigs on behalf of Green, and that's kind of what led us to that. Now, what happened with James's wife? That I cannot tell you because we don't really know. We know that she committed suicide. It's probably assumed that she also had desynchronization sickness, and she, like Green, knew of a way to get out. This poison that would essentially destroy the Icarite in your body, making it so that you could not come back. And that was the kind of the idea that Green, that's why he had that. He drank, after his killing spree, he managed to drink the poison and stumble up the stairs and hang himself so that he could cause no more further damage. Of course, we know Kovalev blew himself up. He never, he never drank the poison, but it's not like he was coming back anyway because he blew himself into a billion pieces. The same thing happened with our wife. She more than likely had desynchronization sickness, and I want to believe, and we don't necessarily know, but I want to believe that she more than likely killed her and James's child, or she did something to their child that she realized that she had become a monster from resurrecting in new body after new body. The same concept that James had and that Green had, that she wanted a way out. She found somebody who could provide her the poison. She took it and then committed suicide. She jumped just like James did. And that is what led to the train incident where James tracked down the dealer, or at least the person he thought was the dealer, and he was so irate and furious. And by the way, also I believe that his desynchronization sickness was already present at that time, led him to shooting all of these people, and then the dealer shooting Seth's car, his partner's car, and it crashing. James died, Seth died, but Seth died permanently. His Icarite was destroyed, and when James resurrected, he could not remember the train accident. That's exactly the reason why he was not allowed back on the force yet, is because of that incident. Now, of course, we know that James also suffers from this sickness because we've been seeing it happen to him more and more. He has to take more and more ambrosia over time. And so the desynchronization sickness, the explanation is that the stranger, this was all in your head the entire time. Every time the stranger talked to you, it was you. When I was thinking that I was the killer, I was technically a killer, but I was not the killer, because there was no killer at all. The killers were themselves. Everybody killed themselves because of things that they had done previously, murders that they had done or events that they had caused, and they had killed themselves because of this sickness caused by the consistent resurrecting of yourself into other bodies. Now, on to the reason why I re-recorded this versus how I just did this now. The reason I re-recorded this is because I was very fucking upset because I picked about the murderer. This game absolutely galled you and pretty much completely points you into the direction of there being a serial killer. The game's synopsis even states a serial killer targeting the city's elite. This game points you and completely directs you into the idea of there being a serial killer. This game is a giant rug pull in terms of its plot. The game does not give you enough context clues necessarily to lead you to believe that Green is responsible for his actual own death. The idea that a murderer could take on the shell of a prominent person, because we know that's what others are doing, is what this game really shows you is consistently what happens. The game prevalently shows you that there is a killer. And if you pick that there is a killer, you are then shot by Selma, who is under the guise of the stranger, being her mind taken over by the stranger. You are then killed. You're shot by Selma, and then you can essentially, when you turn around, you then shoot Selma and kill her, which then leads to you having the bad ending, which is you end up on the beach, your wife reaches out for you, you cannot grab her, and you're pulled away, and your mind is then stuck in the bank. If you guys remember, the memory bank that you end up in if you cannot afford your body or if you cannot be resurrected, stuff like that, they stick you in that bank. And that is the bad ending of the game. And quite frankly, it pissed me off because this game, as I've said, is, in terms of plot, a giant rug pull. The entire game, up until literally the point that you choose whether it was Green or if it was a killer, leads you to believe that it's a killer. Despite the idea that you see Green killing all those people, the game does not give you enough context clues to believe that Green has some kind of sickness. The game doesn't tell you that. If you've watched all three parts, the game led me to believe that there is a killer the entire time. The game wants you to get the bad ending. And I think that they do that on purpose because they want you to go back and play this again so that you can then see other context clues or get the idea that Green is, in fact, the killer to the people in the secret society as well as himself. The same goes for Kovalev, instead of there actually being a serial killer on the loose. Now, you could say that that's my fault for not necessarily seeing it, but again, if you watch all three of the other parts, you're going to see that the game really does point directly to there being a killer all the way up until Sarah asks you, do you believe if there's that it's the killer or if it's Green? And even then, the idea of the killer fitting into the equation, still, it does not make sense that Green killed himself. It's not until you get to the train, and that's something I missed the first time around when I recorded, that James has this desynchronization sickness, and it's what took him, it took his wife, and that the stranger is actually a part of him. I was still believing that the killer was in my ear the entire time. And you may say that's my fault. But as I've said before, you have to understand this from the perspective of after getting the bad ending. The ending that we got is the good ending. The ending where we kill ourselves. Selma is spared. Sarah has a good ending. And the things that need to happen need to happen. Now, I also want to say this as well. Not just that the plot is a rug pull. I also want to say that this game, as you've seen through all 4 parts, all these decisions affect the outcome of the story. None of those decisions matter. It doesn't matter if you steal the cigar. It doesn't matter if you steal the fucking liquor. It doesn't matter if you burn the documents. None of those things actually matter in terms of the outcome of this game. It only determines on whether or not you get certain dialogue choices. So I want to be completely clear on the idea that the illusion of choice in this game, it's just that. It is an illusion of choice. It is not actually going to affect how you get the ending of the game. The only thing that affects whether you get the bad or the good ending is whether or not you decide that Green is the killer, Green is behind all of this, or if there is a killer. That decision with Sarah is the only actual real outcome that this game has. Now, with that being said, I want to also talk about my final thoughts. I think this game looks gorgeous. I honestly believe that this game is very BioShock adjacent. And I say that as if BioShock is its next door fucking neighbor. This game is very BioShock adjacent. I feel that if this game would have been another 10 or 12 hours longer, maybe a 20-hour game, and it was, let's say, BioShock Infinite length, and if this game was a first-person shooter, I'm not saying it needs to be a shooter, but what I'm saying is if this game was a first-person shooter and had a first-person shooter element to it where you were going to different locations, you were shooting enemies, but you were doing all of this detective work as well, like what we did, I think this game would have been probably one of the best games released this year, even with the idea of the rug pull ending and everything I've said currently. I think that if it would have been that, I would have said that this could have been, by and large, one of the best games released this year, one of the best games I've probably ever played. But I am not going to say that because I feel that because this game is really necessarily on rails. It isn't really a game in which you're actually kind of playing. You're really just kind of being led to finding the evidence through the entire game. It's pretty much like on rails, but the idea of it is very cool. And if the game had been, if this was fleshed out, right, with newer elements like a first-person shooter element, I'm not saying it needs to have multiple guns and all that, but if it was just the pistol and you were just a detective and you were maybe killing some bad guys, or you had to make a decision on whether you would kill certain enemies or not, and you had that detective element with all of the gadgets that you had, you know, I know a lot of people would say, you know, we don't really need it to be a shooter, and I would agree with that. But there is a huge part of me that wants to be able to play this game, in the sense that, just like with BioShock, I want to be able to play this game and do things like what I do in BioShock with a heavier detective element to it. This game, in terms of its setting, in terms of its graphics and its art style, is probably one of the coolest and best things I've seen this year. This game's made with Unreal Engine 5, and it just looks really good. Even playing in performance mode, this game looks fantastic. And I have to say that it has one of the best and coolest looking versions of New York I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not even going to exaggerate. That opening scene where you see Times Square for the first time is one of the best and coolest things I've ever seen. Now, do I recommend playing this game? This game is $25. Do I recommend this game at the price point? Sure, I do. I would say, however, that if you've watched the playthrough up to this point and you're listening to me bicker and bullshit about this entire game, understand this. Go into this game knowing that none of these choices actually matter for the entire story and that they only matter for dialogue. That there are only 2 endings. At least I believe there are 2 endings. There may be a third ending. Well, there probably is a third ending in which you shoot Selma, but you still commit suicide? I don't know. However, what you just witnessed is the good ending. The ending in which Selma lives, that you commit suicide, that you get that voicemail from Sarah, that is the good ending. There is no killer. And know that going into this. Is this game fun? Absolutely. I've had a great time with the investigative. I've been loving the kind of, I kind of talk shit about a lot about Dark Souls mechanics, but there's like a certain mechanic in gaming that I wish we were getting more of, and we kind of are, which is what this is. More detective, detective case-solving type of games. When L.A. Noire came out, we kind of had it with that. We've been seeing a rise of, that kind of happening. And we're actually going to be playing another game that kind of has more detective elements to it, which is Beyond Good and Evil. Not necessarily in the same way this game does, but a lot of photography stuff. We're going to be playing that. But I want to say that when I originally recorded the ending to this game, I was very upset, and I absolutely was like, you know what, fuck this. I don't recommend it to anybody. This game kind of shit on me. It was a rug pull in terms of the plot, which is true. But going back and replaying it this afternoon and kind of looking at things from the perspective of already seeing the ending, coming back to it, getting to this point, and making the other choice, I wanted to explain this in detail at the end and kind of think, you know what, maybe I was wrong in thinking that I wouldn't recommend this game. I would. And quite frankly, I think that we deserve for the developers to make a sequel to this game that has more elements fleshed out. I would love to see a shooting element. I know a lot of people say that's kind of stupid, we don't need it. I would love to see a shooting element. I would love to see a more fleshed out detective system. And I would also love to see more of New York. But you know something? I actually came up with the idea for a sequel to this game this afternoon. And if the devs ever see this, let me actually just give you a free, and I'm going to give this one for free, because I come up with a lot of ideas. If you were to make a sequel to this game, I think that you should have this game take place in the same kind of time era, the 2300s, but have it take place in Los Angeles. I know a lot of people think LA is played out, but with the way that New York looks, imagine how LA could look. And if not LA, I would do it in Paris. Paris or London in this time period would look absolutely fucking badass. And I would love to see a new story with a new set of characters, but taking place in the same universe, called Nobody Wants to Die 2. And if the devs want to take that one for free, you don't got to write me a check. You don't got to give me credit. I give that one for free because I absolutely believe in it. It's a great AA title. I love the detective elements of this game. I love the visuals of this game. It's absolutely stunning, and I appreciate the work the devs put in, even though I feel like the plot is a rug pull. That's just my personal opinion. With that being said, I want to say that if you enjoy this playthrough, because the very first video, the first part of this game is actually doing quite the numbers. It's already got like 500 views, and I would say that if you've made it to the end of this, do yourself a favor, support the devs, buy this title, because I want a fucking sequel, and I want it with one of those locations with the same kind of time period. So with that being said, stay tuned for more playthroughs on the channel. Go watch more of Banishers. That playthrough is great. I know it's a bit on the long end. It's like 20 parts in now. We're getting close to the end. Don't worry, we're getting close. And we're going to be starting Beyond Good and Evil. I also have a couple of other games lined up for after Banishers as well. So go check out Banishers. Stay tuned for Beyond Good and Evil. That's going to be starting on Monday. We're going to do the first part on Monday. No streams over the weekend, but on Monday, I am going to start Beyond Good and Evil. I'm going to do the very first part of Beyond Good and Evil. And that's a game I've never played. I never played it as a kid. I'm very excited to play the 20th Anniversary Edition. This has been Nobody Wants to Die. And in reality, the title is very apt, because in this world, it is true. Nobody wants to die. Not even James. Take care, everybody. I'll see you all on the next one. Goodbye.